And we are live. Happy New Year. Sorry for the graininess. It's a little dark in here. I'm going to keep it a little bit on the DL right now just because it's pretty early. House is a little small. Don't want to wake up my wife. Okay. I hope everybody had a good start to the new year. Let's see if anybody actually makes it on this morning. Anyway, so I'm working on, if anybody read the intro, I'm working on the G-Line Standard Armor. I think the last time I worked on this thing, when I was up here as well. Morning in your palatial retreat, exactly. I'm such a playa. Good morning, Peter. How are you? Or excuse me, good evening, Peter. How are you? Anyway, Happy New Year. Hope your yesterday went well. Your yesterday evening. It is pretty dark in here, or dark. It's light enough that I can see, dark enough that I can't see as well as I'd like. Just relaxing my poor stomach after a large New Year's dinner. Nice. What was for dinner? And we haven't even had breakfast yet. I said my wife is still asleep, so right now it's a typical morning. So I'll show you just a second where we last left off with this guy and what I'm working on right now. Maybe 35 different small dishes. Would you go to a tapas restaurant? I love me a good tapas. Or it's like a Japanese version of a tapas restaurant. I got it. Yeah, it's pretty freaking dark outside in the central part of Maine, the mountains of Maine. All I can say is yucky. So, I mean, look, I know where I am, and just kind of get used to it, but or not really, since it's only going to be another couple of months before we're out of here. But it is cold, and I don't ski. No, I think the Japanese dinner style predates tapas by a couple hundred years. Really, you think the Spanish stole it from the Japanese? You think so? Now I'm kind of curious. And in the end, does it really matter? Because it's really about how tasty everything is. That's all that matters. One and two. All right. So that's where we last left off. We got the main part of the body done, the torso done, and now we're just working on the head and the gun, the arm, and now we're working on the other arm. I've eaten this way for maybe 500 plus years. I don't think the Spanish invented tapas that long ago. Yeah, could be. Interesting. I always thought it was an older style as well, but I could be wrong because I am no culinary historian, unlike you, Peter. Oh, no one said anything about stealing. Well, there was enough theft. It's in pasta, sort of a theft of Chinese noodles. All right, let's get this part put on, and then we are going to take my first sip of coffee of the new year. There we go. All right, we've got part of an arm done. The elbow. Let's see how strong I made this. I'm thinking it's looking pretty thick. Ooh, it's pretty fucking hot. Oh, that'll put some hair on your chest. So up here, I do French press back at our home. Up here, I usually use a drip machine. And I think I go a little bit on the overboard side with the coffee, but that's okay. It is tasty. Anyway, Peter, what else is going on, man? A2 Brute. Yeah, yesterday was a work day. The work went fine. It's kind of got everything I needed to get done, which is good. So the beginning of the week should start out pretty pretty easily, which I'm happy about. Then and then it was the long drive up here, about 4 hour drive, because I'm literally coming from Rhode Island. So if you're familiar with the United States, my company is located just over the Rhode Island border in Massachusetts. Then just drove up here nonstop, 4 hours. Got on a phone calls with a couple, with both my sister and a really good friend. So that while away, geez, it's got to be almost 3 hours, which is perfect. And good conversations too. It's good to catch up with, family and friends. Usually, the best time for me to do that is like you got my full and undivided attention. It's like when I'm like driving. It's funny. As much as I bitch about, I don't like driving. One of the benefits about driving has always been for me has been um, I listen to a lot of music. I watch a lot of or listen to a lot of informative. I put on a YouTube station, just listen to a lot of informative stuff, whether it's political or modeling related or because I'm a crazy kind of guy, ocean liner related. Oh, speaking of, fuck, I completely forgot. Or I call people. Like I said, it's like the best time for it. All right, I'm going to take a quick look at here something. Let's see. I don't care about the SS United States. Have they sunk it yet? News. – 80% complete as of I love the sorry. If anybody knows anything, I don't know what it is. I'm not a huge fan. I'm like this getting me out in the ocean. I don't care for cruises. It's just not my thing. But there's something about ships that always fascinates me, and oceans fascinate me too. Now, do I ever want to go diving? No. Do I ever want to go on do I care about cruises? No. But ships fascinate me still. And New York is still trying to save the SS United States, even though it's now 80% ready to be sunk, which means that the entire, a good bit of the superstructure has been, and the funnels have been removed. Interesting. A little late in the game, but okay. Anyway, let's see where we are now. Topics can be traced back to King Alfonso, born 1221, Kaiseki, the traditional Japanese multiple. It traces back to imperial court cuisine from the 9th century. Look at you, Peter. I'm going to start calling you Mr. Encyclopedia. But thank you. Actually, you know what? Information like that is excellent. So we've got approximately a 300 year 9th century intermet. 400 year difference. I love it. Sorry for being quiet. I got curious and had to study on their origin. No, dude. Hey, this is how we learn things, right? And here we are, my good friend Edwin. Edwin, happy New Year to you as well. How are you? Happy New Year, Edwin. Absolutely. A Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to this year. Praying for a lot of good stuff. We'll see. Good enough sleep last night. Out for shawarma. Oh, shawarma for lunch and building a few orc proxies to add for my army. I love shawarma. You know, I've said it before. Food, music, dancing, cultural stuff. That is what shows civilization, in my opinion. Not technology and money. The most advanced people out there are the ones who've got great food, great music, great dancing, great art, great culture. That's what makes a civilization. Great civilization. Shawarma. Now I'm getting hungry. Edwin, it sounds like it was kind of a low key New Year for you. Is that correct? Sometimes I envy my ancestors for one good reason. They don't use plate when they eat, hence, they don't wash the plate after meal. Yeah, yeah. There is something to be said about not having to clean up your meal plates, utensils, or anything like that afterward. 100%. Great mecha and giant robot animation about them. About shawarma? Hey, Nick, good morning. Happy New Year to you. What's going on, brother? Hold it a second. Of all the people I thought would not make it this morning, you were on that list. No heavy partying last night? So, food. Oh, God. Now we've discussed food. I'm hungry. Now the agenda for the evening is to read the Orc Codex and thinking what orc to print next. Nice. Excuse me. I'm assuming when you're talking about printing an orc, you're talking about something that's like a leader orc rather than like a standard army orc. What makes great civilization, George? Great mecha and giant robot. You think so? I guess so. Well, it certainly helps. But the way to George is through his stomach, not through his robots. So I don't party like that. Friends and family gathering, yes. Calendar events, no. Nice. And are you sober this morning? I just want to know how loudly we can speak. Smiley after the previous statement should indicate the humorous intent of said statement. Oh, is that it was supposed to be humorous? Oh, I get it. Oh, ha 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 ha! Now I get it. Yes, I am. I mean, I did drink like 8 beers, but definitely good to scream if you need. No, I'm not going to scream because then I'd wake up my wife. You, I'm not as concerned about, but I'd wake up my wife, and that I don't want to do. Oh, you lads. Making a section for the Evil Sons clan. They are all about vehicles like buggy, jet, chop down, jet turn to car. Oh, that's kind of cool. They're called the what now? The Evil Sons. Interesting. One of the nice things about coming up here is routine changes. And by that, I mean um, my sleeping patterns generally change. I go to bed a little earlier, so it's a good time to catch up on West and relaxation. Let's click that off. I don't think I did any damage today. Yeah, I came close. What if I just get some proxies like Snickrod proxy? That is cool. Batman with an orc Batmobile. Oh, that's kind of cool. I see finally managed rectally insert that stig for Christmas by the universe's sense of humor. Wow. I so want to meet you. Peter. You have perfected your deadpan. I can be good. I'm going to build a plane car mashup. Basically, an old prop plane with no wings, has a few extra wheels. I think that'd be a great idea. Dude, do you have a foundational plane that you're thinking of doing that to, Nick? And can I ask what the impetus was for this? You know, one of the things about that I love about this hobby so much is when you look at somebody coming up with something, something that's not like, oh look, they painted a Panzer II like it was in the first couple of years of World War. Yeah, I don't care. But when somebody comes up with something completely creative, completely out of the norm, it's like, what was the thought that did you see something? It just you dreamt it or whatever. What caused you to kind of come up with that idea? So I like stuff like that. And in particular, if you have a certain look, like if you have a certain plane in mind, you know, one of the things that, and I'm going to say this, I know I'm talking to a Gundam crowd to some degree. One of the things I don't like about this model is it's if I were if this were a military model, a truly military model, why would I ever paint the cockpit hatch red? Ever. I mean, why not just paint a big effing bullseye on the thing, right? You know. But I understand that bright, punchy colors are what both were able to be made into good for anime, but also it makes for much cooler looking toys for kids. C2. Oh, hello. Jesus, man. How about if I dismiss all? Because why the fuck? Modification failed. Server reply with 400. If you're seeing this message after snoozing or dismissing a reminder of this calendar, you do not want to. You can. What the hell? You can mark this calendar as read only to avoid such experience. What the fuck? Okay, fine. It's not what I want right now, but okay, fine. Dismiss for one day. Okay. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. I do not have a base plane yet, but I was thinking a Corsair. Let's say it's more Mad Max inspired in my own head. That's cool. Yeah, see, that's the process. It's like, what was the thought? Was so it's almost like a post-apocalyptic type of thing. Couldn't find any cars, but we got this plane that we can make into a car. This is a Linux machine, so this is an Ubuntu machine. No, it's something to do with the way my calendar is popping up. I actually got to see which calendar it is. I think it's actually from. Oh yeah, it is. Calendars from through Thunderbird, my email client that also has a calendar built in. Nope. This is an old work laptop that it just became a little too slow for using at the office. So I literally just rebuilt it as an Ubuntu machine, and it's been great since. Yeah, it's like it's not the fanciest schmanciest thing, but neither do I need anything like that. This is basically for doing exactly what I'm doing now. You know, surfing the web. What else do we do on this thing? I don't do a lot of photo editing or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, the primary thing on this thing has been using it for YouTube streaming and for, like I said, for writing. That's the thought. Old crash plane with broken wings, but still runs. Just add wheels. Yeah, nice. That's cool. So, Nick, is this going to be a project that you're just kind of fomenting right now, or are you actually thinking like you're going to start this anytime soon? And Nick, and I'm not saying this in an accusatory tone because I totally understand we all start projects, and then was it that I read yesterday? I was reading an article in the IPMS journal. He called it the shelf of woe. Are you working on anything now, or is everything on the shelf of woe? And that's WOE, not WOAH. Hello. Just throwing. Look, Nick, I'm sanding and shaking things. Shaky, shaky. Just the back of my head right now. It's on the shelf of woe. I have the Falca on the bench, but have not touched it in a few months. Yeah. Nick, is that just, and Nick, please understand, I'm just more curious. I know you probably mentioned a few of these things. Is it just that no inspiration, no time? This, I know that you used your workroom as a storage room or other things as well. Is it, are you looking to get back to it, or is it going to sit there for a little while? And again, it's not an accusatory thing. I'm more curious. Look, we all go through these, through whatever things we go through, right? Whether I'm kind of tabling the hobby for a little bit. One of my good friends, I mean, he's been on here, Austin. He actually mentioned that, yeah, he's tabled a lot of stuff recently. He's just like, I'm just not feeling inspired. And he's the guy who comes up with like the pink tank. So, for him right now, it's kind of like, all right, I'm taking a step back. Last night during the drive, so the friend that I spoke to last night, he's one of the IPMS heads for the Western Mass chapter, Wings and Wheels. He's the guy who runs ValleyCon. And Don Johnson. He's both a mentor and a friend, and I love him to death. And we were talking about inspiration. He's sort of been in that same place. He does primarily figure painting, but he also kind of put a lot of stuff on hold as they were remodeling their house. But he's also kind of like, I need that little inspiration right now. There's a lot of stuff that's just been sitting there, and I want to get a few things done. ValleyCon is coming up in March, so he wants to get a few things done, which he hopes to do. I also mentioned to him, it's like, dude, by the way, I'd love some assistance on the I'd love some assistance on the my Misa Hayase figure. I got the base colors done. What would you do now to enhance this figure? The Falcon has been on the bench all year and just rivets. Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's been a rough year all around. Most of the time in that room is just sitting in some silence. Nick, I'm sorry about that. I'm hoping we'll talk about that a little bit here. Good morning, beautiful spaces. Happy New Year. Hey, Joe. Happy New Year indeed. Yeah, guys. I genuinely hope. Look, life does what life does. There are days when, and I still remember 20. Jesus, when the fuck was it? 2019, 2018, whatever the fuck it was. Jesus, man, it was like one of the most terrible years my family ever had. And we go through these really terrible times, and it impacts our hobby. When my wife got laid off back in middle of 2024. I mean, that just took the steam right out of me wanting to do any kind of heavy construction. It's like we're just going to snap stuff together. Then the damn fam joined your life. Yeah. Well, as I was saying to Don last night, one of the things that inspires me is being on here in the morning. If nothing else, even if it's just like, a workday morning, it gives me the opportunity to build something. Because otherwise, it's like, what am I going to do? Fall asleep watching TV? Yeah, there are other creative things I could try to do. I mean, still want to try to get into some writing a little bit more, but this is my creative outlet. And if I can even just spend half hour to 45 minutes or an hour a day in the morning. This has been like remarkably helpful to me. The days I still remember, George, out of context. Nice. Yes. Days I still remember. Not many of them because, the mind's going soft. Joking aside, may it not go soft. Got a good family friend who's currently going through some pretty extensive, what appears to be Alzheimer's. See, 2, 13, and 18. So, but anyway, just it's part of the reason why I do this is because I want to make sure that I'm always engaged in some kind of both friendly, what we're doing here, just kind of chatting, and it helps because the hobby, in my opinion, is a social hobby. It is not a go downstairs in your basement and hide out by yourself all the time hobby. There is a social element to this hobby. But also it's the creative side of things. It's like I need to get some creativity going, you know. In many ways, I mean, one of the things that I've enjoyed, well, the padded room we find it's not padded actually, it just looks it. Wait, snapping up today. I'll show you just a second, Nick. Just a second. Hey, Seb, good morning. Oh, and Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. How are you? How are things in your part of the world? I'm working on the G-Line Standard Armor. It's pretty much like the last time I've snapped this up was the last time I was up in Maine. So it literally sat in my bag for the last couple of months. And the sunlight exposure probably doesn't hurt. And the sunlight exposure probably doesn't hurt. When it comes to creativity, I mean, I think about the things that I've always been interested in, whether it's, putting, like stereo systems or stereo systems theaters or bicycles. I never, except for my first two bikes, which I got back in the late 1980s, the first one, which I then ended up giving to my sister. The second one I kept, and that became my sort of commuter until like a couple years later, when at that point every bike I ever built was all custom. It's like I bought the frame, I built out everything from my Klein Attitude all the way through my Merlins, my specialized GTS LTS one, and the last bike I still have, and my road bikes, but also the full suspension Santa Cruz Heckler. And I enjoy doing that. Morning, Sebastian. Happy New Year. Ray, what's going on, brother? Happy New Year to you too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just built a bike yesterday. A bicycle? Really? Is this for one of your kids? Or is that are they still a little too young for that? Was this for you or for your kids or for somebody else? I enjoyed working on bikes. I've said this for many, many years. If I could have made any kind of significant money, and I don't mean like a ton of money, just enough to get by, I would have loved to have been a bike mechanic the rest of my life. I love that job. Doing fine, still a little bloated up from last night's dinner and waiting a little. We're going to take my first burger of the year. Oh my God. So hold it. You're full because of last night's dinner. You're waiting for yourself to digest, and then you're going to go out for food. God bless you, Seb. I love you. Tiny purple 12-inch. Is this a Mavis turns 3 tomorrow. Yay. So is this for Mavis or is this for you? I'm assuming a tiny purple 12-inch wheel bike is probably for a kid. I love it. Years ago, I was working at BU. That's a little side story on bicycles. So there was, kids would lock up their bikes, or anybody would lock up their bikes, and they'd lock up, say, the frame, and they had quick releases on their wheels, and they forget to do that. So, well, shockingly enough, somebody left a Gary Fisher bike there locked up, and the wheels got stolen, and that bike just sat there for almost a year, locked up in front of the George Sherman Union building. It's the main student life building on campus. And it just sat there. I'm like, dude. So I finally cracked the lock and brought that bike home, painted it, slapped on a bunch of parts, and it became my day-to-day commuter for a while. Still have that bike. Love that bike. There was a Kids in the Hall sketch about that. Man, Kids in the Hall. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Yep. We ate the dessert around 1:30 this morning, and I decided that my first meal of the year would be Burger King. Burger King? Hold on a second. Is this like the American Burger King? 12-inch, 12 purple angry inches are not normally considered tiny. Nick be packing, dude. Oh my God, Peter. Don't listen to Nick. The purple 12 inches for him. Well, given Nick's background, I would say it could have been. That's what I was thinking. Could it be a BMX bike? BMX is 20-inch wheels, if I'm correct, but I could be wrong. That's the one thing I never got into. I never got into BMX. Mountain and road. Okay, let's get some of this stuff put together. Talking about bikes. Sorry. Oh, you boys. Taking everything. You guys just have such dirty minds. Let's see. We did see Joe here, right? Joe's here, right? Joe, what's going on, brother? Question. How was your New Year's Eve? And Ray, how was yours? But I'm scared to ask. Yes, it is. I'll take my favorite. A double steakhouse with cherry cola. Really? Okay, Seb, I will say, I go to Burger King more than any other fast food restaurant, primarily because of their Impossible Whoppers, they're good. I probably got that wrong. Dual Ray. Nice. Yeah, cola, yep. I've had a few 12-inch bikes, big bars. I laid a high back seat and some pegs. Looks like clown bikes, but fun at the skate park after a few beers. I love it. Are those days behind you now, Nick, or are they still happening every now and then? Snap. What did I miss? Oh, I see what I missed. Burger King. Interesting. Watched a couple of movies, drank a couple of beers, and passed out before the ball dropped. Nice. Don't care for New Year's. You know, it's been a year for every other day as well. Yeah. Well, here's hoping, Joe, that 2026 things start to improve. I mean, because I was talking to Don yesterday. It's like, we tend to focus a lot on the bad shit, and there's always good stuff out there. Let's not toss out the baby with the bathwater, as they say. So, my younger daughter graduated high school, and she's off and having her best life at university. My older daughter got her first true professional job, and she's also just started another job. She's She's finding her ways and trying to figure out where her next steps lay. You know, it's going to be with child education somehow. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, and my wife, she was hired by a school near us, so she'll be moving back home. So, this is what I'm saying. It's like, as much as there's a lot of shit in the world, and God knows there's a lot of shit in the world, I like to try to remember that there's also a lot of good in the world. Let's see. I prefer BK to make. Oh yeah, I can't do McDonald's. Yeah, I don't do that after a Big Mac. I'm still hungry compared to double steakhouse. I don't even know what the hell a double steakhouse is. So a couple BMX bikes. One is an old Trek Y frame. Really, the other is an Eastern. Nice. Oh, my BMX bike every now and then. A lot more lately. With Mavis riding her Strider bike. Oh, that's great. Father son riding, father daughter riding bikes. I love it, Nick. Oh, it's been a year since I hopped on a bike, but now I would need the Bigfoot type one if I want to ride it. I have an FBM. I built it when I was 20, so it's almost 20 years old. Yeah, dude, my mountain bike is a Santa Cruz Heckler from 95. No, has to be 96. And it's got like Magura hydraulic brakes, rim brakes, not disc brakes, 26-inch wheels, not whatever they're using now. A White Brothers fork, the dual what are they called? Dual clamp fork. Yeah, I mean the whole bike is like you look at it and it's ancient history, but I like it. And I'm not going to go out and spend another, $8,000-$10,000 on a bicycle. It still rides. In fact, I think, I'm going to try to break it out onto the trails this year. Try to replace the tires, get them onto something that's better built for double tracking. I handpicked every part, even the spoke nipples. No, really. Did I do that? I did not build the wheels on my Heckler. One of the guys at the shop that I worked at, International, did that, and he actually did twisted spokes. One of these days, I'll pull the bikes out and I'll just show what's there. And I know for some people it's not going to be a cool thing, but cycling was a very, very important part of my life, and I do hope I get back into it to some degree again. My truck was completely rebuilt, and my Eastern started off as a frame. Yeah, built my wheels. Dance comp built my what? I'm kind of missing that last thing. What is that? What does that mean? All right, let's get. We'll build a couple of hands. Anyway, we got the other arm done. It's about to go on to the G line in just a moment. Yeah. It's was a huge BMX retailer. I think they're still around. Yeah, I built the wheels in the living room, about 3 hours a wheel. Yeah. I built a few wheels over the years, and I still have a truing stand. I got to tell you, that's fun. Building wheels is fun. It is an art. Dance comp is still around. I don't so there's a big. Why are you laughing at Dance comp build my wheels? Because you just bought them off the shelf type of thing. Interesting. Nah, funny enough, I've never heard of Dance comp considering my years in the industry. Oh well, B120 C17. Did I get that right? Yeah, B120. There it is. Or if I do, I just don't recall it. This kind of got big in my early high school years when then kind of died off for a while because I didn't lace my rims. I picked out components and patterns. Ah, got it. And what did they do? Did they just build wheels? Now I'm curious. C17. I have no clue what's in my mountain bike, but it is my brother's graduation project. As a bike mechanic, the first of his four educations that he made for me. That's cool. And Ray had a mail order bike. Ah, they sold everything from BMX, including via building wheels. Okay, cool. You'll learn something every day. I did that for my sister too. I gave her a Harrow aluminum bike, fully tricked out. Unfortunately, it had to go away, but she had a pretty trick bike for a while. It was fun. I always enjoyed that. Personally, myself, so it was a mail order. Nice. Ah, bicycles. I'm trying to think if I've spent more money on bicycles or more money on scale modeling. Something tells me that bicycles is still more, but I could be wrong. Really, how we pronounce Harrow? I was when it came to Harrow bikes, I thought it was Harrow, but I could be wrong. I don't think it was Harrow, but maybe, maybe. What is that thing? I have a piece sticking out here. That's why I forgot a piece. D214. Okay. See, you get caught in conversation, you forget what the hell you're doing. Mail order, are you sure about that smelling? Oh, I think he's 100% sure. No, he placed a mail order. Oh, there it is. 13, 14. So, gotta tell you, I'm impressed that it's the day after, it's Thanksgiving, try again, New Year's Day, and I got a bunch of people here today. Thank you. And today's going to be an ultra lazy day. Just going to hang with the wife, have black-eyed peas. And just kick back. Maybe, excuse me, mayhap tomorrow we'll go out and do something. We'll see. I don't know if she's off tomorrow or not. I can't recall now. We have a really good local BMX shop scene in Texas, so I never really used Dan's kind of seeing what was new. Let's see what you did there. Metal bikes and Terrible One were both located in Austin when they had Ninth Street trails, and they're known around the world. Well, at $30 times 800 kids, did you spend $16,000 on bicycles? Yes, guaranteed. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, over the years, I think I've owned something like probably 12, 13 bikes. You know, my, yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Good question, Joe. It's pretty close. Let's put it that way. And that doesn't include tools. So, I mean, it's both tools on the mount on the cycling side and tools on the on scale modeling. Is that fucking thing again? Nick, the other one is the one that a friend of mine worked at in Austin. He worked at Homeless. Let's see if that'll work. Which I think was also based out of Austin. It was $2,300 20 years ago. Yeah. A little bike shop has almost nothing for BMX, and not having a license, Dan's comp was awesome. I think my Eastern was about $1,500 in '98. Yep, it was around 2,300 20 years ago. I purchased everything myself, so it was a mail order. This makes me think. Just get strong as she got from the first Police Squad movie. That is an alert saying that there are a bunch of birthdays coming up. Because my Google Calendar is linked to my Thunderbird email client, and for some reason, it does not want to go away. This might happen again more than on a couple of occasions. You should just Google Austin 9th Street trails. I will. In fact, I'll just do it right now just to get it kind of done. Ninth Street Bike Park. It's actually one of the first things that came up. Oh, yeah, look at that. Dude, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, I think we all spent a lot of money on our bikes. You know, my most expensive bike I ever owned was probably my Santa Cruz Heckler, because I think the frame was probably about $1,200-$1,300 back then, maybe more, $1,500. And then the suspension, all of the other parts, the McGurr brakes and everything like that. Yeah, it definitely ramped up there. But it also got ridden a lot, and it's still around. So if we hear a fire alarm chirp, it's someone's beat-in notice. Yeah, yes, and I'm trying to get rid of it. Okay, there we go. Arm's done. Let's get this arm on here. There we go. So that's what we got so far. I will say, physically, this thing looks pretty cool. It's like a next generation, Jesta kind of thing. Though all the color things, like the yellow and the red and the white and the gray and the dark blue, it's like, oh God, stop. Learn even the best trails, all the hidden trails that were way better and a lot bigger jumps. Oh, I'm sure. But that's the place that everybody went to start with, right? I get it. Looks like the heavy gun from the F-91. I'm trying to think if it is. I don't know. Is it? I think it might be unique to this thing, but I could be wrong, Joe. I could be dead nuts wrong. Yeah, right. Let's work on The feet. Oh, it's not because heavy gun was made. It was only made 1/100. Oh, really? Okay. I'll take your word for it. The amount of detail that goes into this thing. As I said to my engineer on that little EG kit that he gave his son and helped him build it. These models, the engineering on this stuff today is still so impressive. With the energy shield. Never really cared for F-91. Even to this day, it's like I've watched it, I think, twice. And it's like, okay, it's an okay movie. So just never really got into it too much. And the mecha, I think, were pretty interesting as they started moving away from that Germanic type of stuff. Well, somewhat. It looked more like World War One gas masks than World War II helmets. Finally have a potential answer to your red canopy glass question. Maybe it was designed by the guy at Oakley who designs some more glasses. Maybe, but it's not glass. That's the thing. It's not glass. But yeah, but here's the thing. If he were like, hey, I'm trying to apply for a military contract and we're going to have this big red glass thing in front, and the military is like, let's move on. Yeah, you're not our guy. You are not our guy. I'll tip it down a little bit here. That way you can actually see a little bit more of what I'm doing. And I'll chop off some of my baldness. All sorts of weird colors. Yeah, either way, the point of it is not a good design. All right. One food's done. So does anybody have any special plans for today? Seb is going to Burger King to have the first burger of the year. Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Yeah, those I don't care about. Post it on my timeline, not mine. Bueller. So you're saying there was a lack of realism in the color scheme of 70s. No, I'm not saying it was like that for the 70s. This is not from the 70s. I would say like the modern stuff, they should probably do something a little different. That's what I'm saying. I'm going grocery shopping if I can, maybe if I can, maybe a haircut. Are these places open today, Joe? That's cool. Think we are child free today, so that counts as special. Spoken like a parent. Yeah. People ask me, so are your kids coming up to join you in Maine this weekend? I'm like, no. Yeah. Remember, I know that it's based on a 70s anime, but this is a lot further along. Maybe it's just me. I think George counts me as a special every day. Oh, you every day. You are part of my Jerry's Kids list. Grocery stores opens later, like one-ish. Got it. Sixteen, 17, 18. Wifey B Day is the 5th. Yay! So you're going to go out shopping for her, Joe? Or what are you getting her for her birthday? Hey, Tony, good morning and Happy New Year to you too, brother. What's going on? Did you finish off the dog? Yes and no. The dog has now been, um, all the putty is in place. I did some sanding and cleanup on it. It's good enough for what I need. So I'm going to start painting when I get back home. It is time to lay down some primer. A kick to the ass, Jake. Socks, pedicure. A kick to the ass? What? JK shoes, socks, pedicure. Those are good. Happy New Year. Hey, RQ, what's going on, brother? Happy New Year to you as well. No. Let's clip that thing back. JK, just kidding. I hope so. Happy wife, happy life, as they say. Let's just making sure I'm catching everybody here. Yep. Morning, Anthony. Thanks. Happy New Year to you too. I love it. Am fam on point today. Ugh, so much snow. Really? I had to dig the boots out to walk the dog this morning. They were about a foot or more out there. Really? This and Tony, did this all happen overnight? Ugh. Love a new series, Tony. Glad to see you back. Yeah. All right, let's start building the leg. Now I got the foot done. 20, 21, 28. Today might be a good day to kind of check all that stuff out. Catch all the different YouTube stuff that you guys have done. See what Joe's done. See what Tony has done. Should have a little bit of downtime for some of that stuff. Between 5 p.m. yesterday. Ugh. Yeah. Wait, snow? I haven't seen snow since November. Climate change, yeah. Hey, RQ, where are you located, if you don't mind me asking? And you don't have to answer if you don't feel comfortable. Up here in, actually, glasses. Oh, fuck me. It's still a little too dark outside to see if it's still coming down, but there is snow on our cars, probably about an inch or so. But it is winter, so not a surprise, right? Now I need to get my butt moving and nip parts out for the frame. Gonna try and get it all wired and built in the next session. Might need to split it up a bit though. Nice. Split it up in what regard? Split the video or split up how you're going to assemble the model? Hello. I trade you my foot of snow for your insurance. Yeah, I hear you, brother. No, I'll pass. Tony, as I think you and I were probably on the same page. I detest snow as much as you do. For some stupid reason, I love living in New England. In fact, it was kind of interesting. Was it last year? When we went down for my mother-in-law's funeral. I asked, we're in Houston, and I'm like, just looking around, I'm like, man, this would be a move, but we could make this move. And my wife's like, yeah, I love growing up in Houston, and I miss being down here, but I don't want to live down here. So no Houston for us anytime soon. It's not snowing in Wyndham, and there was only a dusting. Yeah, we got more than a dusting, but we're here in Bethel. We're in the mountain area. And all these people want to go skiing. What the fuck is wrong with them? Maybe legs, then waist, then torso, and then arms. I don't know yet. I want to paint the frame. You're painting the frame, right? This is a PG, if memory serves, correct, Tony? It's going to be a brisk 75. Man, I love it. Snow is the worst. I am not a fan of it now, and that I'm older. Yeah. It's funny. I feel the same way. As kids, we loved it, right? And I remember it's like, because we're out there playing in it and all that, and my dad's out there shoveling, snow blowing, everything, and he never seemed to have enjoyed it. He always did it and even try to help us a little bit. Like we had a hill in the back of our yard that we could go sledding down, and he actually carved out with a snowblower. He carved out a path for us once. It was pretty impressive. But he had no love of snow. No love of snow. And I'm sort of in that same place. Now that I don't frolic in it because I really don't like being cold. Yeah, no thank you. Well, southwest part of Sweden. Got it. Meanwhile, it's snowing in Denmark. Like, how does that even work? Yeah. Who the hell knows, right, RQ? I'll take that, Nick, any day. Yeah. But will you take 90, 100-degree humid weather in the summer? That's the thing that makes, trust me, it's like you get the good with the bad. Personally speaking, I'll take the humidity and the heat. We got maybe 5-7 inches of snow here today. Just today? Yeah, snowboarding is way better. Yeah, fuck snowboarding too. No, thank you. Anything that requires it to be cold outside is not good. Skiing, sledding. Yeah, okay, I kind of like sledding. All right, maybe I'm lying a little bit. Every now and then, skating isn't too bad. you know. All right, maybe a little hiking too. Yeah, PGX, yeah. I was a snowboarder and instructor for snowboarding when I was a young adult. Now I hate it. Really? No shit, Tony. Tony, can I ask why it is that you kind of like gave it up or hate it? And again, it's not, I'm fascinated by it, especially considering that's a hobby that when you're into, you kind of stick with it. Yeah, so like the hot weather, I have central air. For sure, if we put you in a heated suit, you might enjoy it again. Yeah, exactly. That'd be fine. I got my nice thermal socks on right now, even though up here it's very toasty, which is why I don't have my sweater on. Downstairs, and this is a two-floor house that my wife is in. The first floor is cold. The second floor, toasty. I can attest that I would still hate the snow just as much, if not more now. It gets 110 and 85. Yeah, exactly. That's insane. And I get it, Nick. And it's like that's unreal at times. I'd still rather do that than be up here freezing my tits off. I haven't been in over a decade. Really? Ray, do you still have interest in doing it or not? Do you have interest in getting back on the board? Hey, to each their own, whatever you want to do. My friends haven't been in over a decade. What are you doing in New England if you don't like the cold, George? Well, the funny part about it is, okay, so Tony, I'll give you the history in just a second. Or Peter, I should say, not Tony. Yeah, I used to do competitions too. Wow, he's being a bitch about it. Quick, because my board and boots were stolen from the instructor hut and couldn't afford to replace it. Interesting. Really? Coldest sun feels. Just coldest sun feels nice. Or do you remember when I built a model plane out of paper? Well, when I threw it outside, the paper got soft because of the cold weather, resulting in a crash midair. I should have thought of that. That's funny. To teach Katie how to snowboard, I picked up a cheap board and a customer gave me boots. Now we just need time. Yeah. Well, do you have a little bit of time to do that? Does Katie work on the weekends? Then again, you're kind of a man of much leisure now. So Peter, little story. Give me a minute here. All right. So the history is that my father came from the old country, from Albania. I think moved, came in through Ellis Island, came to New York, went to Philadelphia, and finally moved to Chicago. Lived there for many years, bounced back to Turkey for a little while, came back, lived in Chicago, but had a lot of family that for some crazy reason lived in New Hampshire. So he's like, well, I'm going to move where family is. So he moved up where family, and that's why I grew up in New Hampshire. So I've skied once in my life when I was in high school. I thought it was fun and I thought it was cold. And it's like, I've done it and I'm okay with it. I don't have to do it again. So why do I live in New England? Because one, I grew up here. I went to school here and I had jobs here. I like it up here. Actually, the spring, the summer, and the fall are beautiful. And there is something to be said about having a white Christmas. Now, with all that being said, do I like the cold? No. If I were a billionaire, would I buy a house down in New Zealand or Australia and go there for 6 months of the year? If I can convince my wife, yes. I love to try snowboarding. Come on up. Most of our time lately has been spent in Maine. My hobbies now include cleaning a house out. Ugh. Ray, how much more of that do you have left? Snowboarding is super fun. It's just the snow part I have a problem with now that I'm an old man with arthritis. Yeah, that doesn't help either. Nick, I don't live. Well, I take it back. Nick, if you're ever up in the area, I'll put you up at my house. We've got Wachusett Mountain, 20 minutes north of us, half hour north of us. you ever want to come up and you wanted to try it, I'm not going snowboarding with you, but you can certainly stay at our house and head on up and enjoy some snowboarding. Yeah, go to Australia during the summer, then come back during winter. Exactly. Yes. Seasonally warm all the time. The only problem with it is my wife has this problem uh, with Australia. She thinks it's the land of big spiders. So I've not been able to convince her that we should do it. If you become a billionaire, the convincing becomes a lot easier, methinks. Probably. I need surgery on a knee, so I don't think any snow sports will be in my future. Really? I'm sorry about that. So I meant the opposite. Oh yeah, no, I got it. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is you're always there when it's warm. Yeah, I'm good with that. Nick, what's up with your knee? I didn't realize that you had a knee issue. And yeah, I guess that would be pretty not fun. We've gone down to the 60s in the bedroom. All the guns and ammo are probably 2 good tag sales and a 15-yard dumpster for finishing. Yeah, when do you expect to be done, Ray? Yeah, I agree with your wife. Go to New Zealand. Everything in Australia is designed to kill you. I don't know. I don't know. I I don't know. Either way, something Southern Hemisphere. This is the only place that tries to kill you 100% of the time you are alive out there. Are you serious? See, I mean, I know they got crazy shit out there, but really, it's just everything is trying to kill you. What is it with this place? Obviously, Australians have survived. Hopefully, be done by March, April. So good tag sales season. Yeah, good friends in Australia, and I tease them about it all the time. Really? I didn't realize it was like that bad. So my wife is right. Fuck. That means I got to admit it to her. I don't know. Snowplow. What about Argentina? I mean, there's many options. Just choose countries in the South. Yeah. Well, there's certainly something to be said about South America. And I know there's a lot of expats that go to places like Costa Rica and places like that, American expats. It's a possibility. But here's the thing, I got to get to my billions first. That may take me not this lifetime. Try the matter. You buckle, especially if twisting. I think I could afford to fix if the new job happens. Praying, Nick. Because the other thing, if you get this job and things kind of come about, that means you have no excuse for not coming up to PatCon in the fall. I'm just tossing that out. Okay, I might be exaggerating just a tad, but yeah, from crocs to spiders to snakes, it's all poisonous. Wow, really? Do they have scorpions there too? Yeah. My wife hates spiders, like with a passion. Then again, if I had a spider that was like about 12 inches across, I'd probably be like not a big fan of them either. Because at least it's everyone, not only that tries to get. Yeah. It's in the U.S. at least. It's not everything that tries to kill you. Yeah, fair enough. Not disagreeing with that. So don't park in the ocean, and you won't have to brave jellyfish. Jumping jack ants by then we just go to the car. Yeah. Venomous, not poisonous. Venomous, not poisonous. Fair enough. Just saying if you can by bow. Well, if you hate insects, I recommend Antarctica. Yeah, no. Remember, it's well, I'm looking for anti-cold. Yeah, I'm arachnophobe too. Are you really? Nah. Maybe it's because my wife had like as soon as like, oh my God, there's a huge spider in the bathroom. Go kill it. All right, fine. Anything under, like half an inch, I don't consider to be big. I don't have problem with spiders. In fact, they eat all the bugs that I really detest, so I'm totally fine with them. I hope I did that right. I think I didn't, but I can't tell. Give me 1 second here. One, two. No, I think I did it right. For a guy who was not paying attention, I did something right. I love it. That's what we got. Even the jellyfish are lethal in Australia. There's that stupid fucking. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to have to go in later and somehow kill part of my linked calendar. You need a pet jumping spider. I would love a pet jumping spider. Years ago, when my dad had a restaurant in Concord, New Hampshire, this had to be in the late 70s. He had one of his waitresses. She had tarantulas and she would walk them. And I remember she actually walked one in once. It's kind of cool. They have world's most dangerous spider. If you don't pass out from the pain of the bite, this toxin can have 24 something hours to get the cure. Whew. Nothing like fields of web in Australia, billions of spiders in one place. That's a nope. Okay. Yes, I don't mind one spider, two spiders, something like that. Yes, I don't think I want to be surrounded by hundreds or thousands of them and then all coming looking at me like lunch. Mexico, the wolf spiders are big enough so see reflection from their eyes at night. Wow. Is that your version of a smoke detector low battery? Yeah, it's a stupid calendar alert that I gotta figure out how to get rid of. Wolf spiders are that size here in Texas. Gotta go. Family meeting. RDRQ. Take it easy, brother. Thanks for popping in. Always good to see you, and happy New Year to you. It's cool. All right, we got that done. Let's start working on the other pats. I got more plowing. C122. And C131. So, the gates on these things are getting so small. They're approaching what's going on with a good EG. This is really impressive. How much longer? Like another 5, 10 years, and literally all if 3D printing doesn't take over, but all these parts you can just pop out by hand with no nubs or minimal nubs. If you're jumping spiders taking up residency in the house, really, most have found a house plant. So, Nick, do you get rid of them or do you keep them? We have a ton of spiders around here. I even found a spiny orb weaver in the yard last year. What's an orb weaver? Ooh. Had a wolf spider chase me out of a well house a couple of months ago. Things legs probably 3 inches. Holy shit. Hold it. It chased you out? Hold it. I mean, literally, was it coming at you and then you just like fled like a little boy? You're even at 3 inches, you're bigger than it. I'm just saying. Yes, well, spiders will step up to you. Warriors are a pretty large family in the arachnid kingdom. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. I am not an arachnophile enough to know what's the different types of spiders that are out there. Definitely chased me out. No reason to kill it. I was in its home. Ah, got it. Okay. Hey, and I'm a big fan of that. I don't like killing spiders. I don't. I do not like killing spiders. Well, the big yellow garden spiders are also a type of orb weaver. Okay, I know which one those are. Cool. Thank you, Ray. Like the crab spider. Orb weavers. Okay, I gotta look that one up too. Orb weaver. The stuff you have to look up. Orb weaver spiders. Wow, those things can be fucking huge. Yeah, that guy's not small. I'm just gonna say that is not a small spider. Yippee ki Giant lichen orb weaver. Oof. Looks like something out of Starship Troopers. Hey, Ken. Happy New Year to you too, brother. Welcome. How are you? I had a crab spider orb weaver here. I had a spider in my garage window that I used to feed flies. Yeah, I've done that before. You know, I've always enjoyed when they ate all the shit. I don't like flies. I don't like other bugs in my house. And if a spider can sit there and eat them, have at it. Go to the backyard in arachnophobia. John Goodman is spraying one of the sexual spiders up till he stepped on it because it was a pet he sprays. Water. Yeah, that would make sense. Interesting. God, I haven't seen that film since it first came out, I think. Ken, Happy New Year. Some data on Australian killers, 2021. Horses, 222 deaths. Cattle, 92. Cattle. Dogs, 82. Kangaroos, 53. Bees, 45. Snakes, 50. Crocodiles, 25. Sharks, 39. Oh, that's actually not good. Horses, 222. That kind of makes sense. That animal is way too big. What's a good word, Ken? How was your New Year's Eve? Yep, coming down in 5 minutes. How's that? Very unexciting. My favorite kind. Loki, yeah, we were the same way. We were watching TV last night. I was dozing off through most of it. Right, I'm gonna finish off on these two parts here, and then I'm gonna head downstairs and go hang with the missus. My favorite is the green orb weavers. They are small, but such vibrant colors, even with some gold on them. Really? Ah, yeah, see, that's cool. We don't have any cool spiders like that. We got some wolf spiders, small ones. Daddy long legs, stuff like that. At least I don't remember seeing anything that's that cool. Okay, let's get this thing positioned correctly. Man, again, the engineering on these things, absolutely incredible. Continue to say that. Let's have a great first day. Carpe diem. Exactly. Joe, you too, brother. Happy New Year to you. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay. Hello. All right. Now let's get the capping piece on this, and then we're going to call it a session too. And we'll do a bit of an outro here. We absolutely have the little green orb weavers, but they're small and blend into the plants. Cool. Yeah, they're maybe 3/4 inch and always hiding in a plant. Nice. I'd be okay with that. You can stay in the plants. You can eat anything that comes to the plants. Just stay in your hood. I'll stay in mine, and we'll live happily ever after. Okay. 1. Okay. 1, 2. That one I'm not going to cut. And in like motherfucking fun. Ooh, of course. Ow. I will be looking over my shoulder for spiders. Thanks, guys. Yeah. All right. So we got, again, pretty impressive. That's all the inner leg on an HG kit. I remember when RGs were like this. All right. I'm going to leave that be until later. Let's see what we got here. I got a carnivorous plant the other day, so now even the plants eat bugs. I want to get. I've been wanting a Venus flytrap forever. One of these days, Saline doctrine by God Emperor George the whatever the fuck that is. Exactly. Stay in your lane. You too, Peter. Rodoni, it's not the one you see. Should worry you. Wow. Must be a plant from Australia. Thanks, Nick. That's so funny. All right, guys. It is time for me to head on out. Go do the New Year's morning breakfast thing. So, guys, thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. Happy New Year's to everyone. May 2026 be better than 2025. May it bring whatever type of thing we really need, not want, just really need. And I'm fortunate that 2026 is planning on starting off really well for us. Let's hope that continues. Health, happiness, and that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be about a ton of money. It just has to be about just having, good life, right? Doing good. See everyone later. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Later, fellas. Later, guys. Catch you all tomorrow. Have a nice day. Yes, all the same to you guys. So, guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. And let's see if we can make 2026 a better year than 2025. Go out there and just show kindness and love to everybody. The hatred has to come to an end. The bigotry, all of that stuff just has to come to an end. Let's show love to everybody. All right. With that, I'll be back on tomorrow morning, same time, same channel. Enjoy the day, guys. Do good. Love you all. Happy New Year and peace.